Hello. Oh yeah, so hopping right into it, we're just gonna see our first augment. Sorry you guys didn't see the first couple creep rounds, but just restarted the recording because I made a mistake. But anyways, this is PBE, so I'm just hard forcing stuff and trying out the different comps and learning the units. So what that means is this is the set that's gonna come out in around a week or so, and I'm just getting a little bit of a head start on learning the units. So this is set 11. The build that I'm gonna try and do this time should be I really want to play Porcelain and Sniper, so that's playing around ASHE carry if you haven't seen it. But basically there's a ASHE now is a 4 cost snipers. I can pull up the traits for everybody. I'll show it real fast. So Porcelain, basically after casting they boil, they gain attack speed, so you're basically playing around ASHE as the main carry, and ASHE usually you want Jinsu and then some AD items. She's an AD carry, and then she's also Sniper, which I want to find somewhere. Let's just scroll a little bit, surely we'll see it. Sniper right here. So Sniper, basically it's the same as the concept as like the Sniper's focus Orn item, but basically as an augment, as a trait. So the Snipers gain at 1 attack range and you deal more damage the further away you are, and then you're playing around ASHE, right? And then there's some other options. It's a 6 trait, but there's only 5 units, so you usually play like 4 Sniper or 2 Sniper. Alright. Now that we're introduced to what is gonna go on, we can go back to the gameplay. So I took the leveling augment because I just kind of want to, with Porcelain, one of the units that's really good is Lysandra, which is a 5 cost. So in my head I'm thinking, okay, if I'm forcing Porcelain, I'll just tempo into that. As you can see, so the units on the board that I'm playing are Ink Shadow. I just highlighted the trait, but basically I'm playing Ink Shadow early because Senna is an Ink Shadow, and this Jax unit as a is a frontline unit now. And basically with Ink Shadow, when you have it in, you gain an extra item. These special Ink Shadow items that you can then put in. I'm reading my Epoch, which is what my opponent has, is a new augment. It looks pretty good for a lot of reroll comp, so hopefully I can get a chance to try that before the set goes live and there's ranked. But anyways, I digress. So Senna is really good to play around at the beginning. Ink Shadow is really good early because it just puts you up an item. So if you have like an early Jax and an early Ink Shadow setup, I find that's really strong early into mid game. I find that falls off really hard late, Ink Shadow specifically, because like as I played in my previous game, like you don't have a lot of good frontline options. You kind of have to make like a really complex board, and you become very like forced on certain units, right? Like if you don't hit Kaisa, if you don't hit Udyr, right, it becomes a little bit difficult to play late, is what I would say. Anyways, let's get to it. So I think I'm gonna play Ink Shadow for a while, and I'm playing the Kog'Maw just because Kog'Maw is also really strong. I find they're probably gonna nerf it before it goes into live, but Kog'Maw is really strong, and this setup's pretty strong. I think my items aren't really good for just like forcing Sniper, right? Like obviously, like when it's PBE and it like is really early and nobody's like hard contesting lines, you can kind of force whatever you want. But I probably wouldn't play like this. Basically, like right before this game, I had a game where the lobby crashed, and I had a really good ASHE spot in that game. So I was just kind of like, okay, well, I still need to try this out because it's PBE. Who cares if I win or lose? I just want to play the units, see how the units behave, figure out like basic things about everything. So that's why a lot of these are going to be very like forcing, right? They're not particularly played amazingly or well. It's just a matter of let me try out these units, let me put them on the board, and let me see what they do, instead of like playing the same units over and over again, right? Like I already have an Ink Shadow game, so even though I'm playing Ink Shadow, I'm using it, like I know I'm not going to play vertical Ink Shadow, right? And we'll see a lot more of me forcing later. I kind of took a very winning position. I kind of trolled it a little bit later, but I'm not trying to play this game to like be good as much as I'm just trying to like play the units that I want to play this game to learn. Ink Shadow also works really well. So Jax is Ink Shadow and he's also Warden. right? Warden's like the like Sentinel. It's basically the one that gives armor or something. I think I forget. It's one of the frontline traits, right? The thing that's good about Warden is that like this Ink Shadow line works really well with Sniper. So you play Ink Shadow early and then you play Sniper later, because basically what happens is what's his name? Amumu is the Porcelain frontline unit, and he is also a Warden. So what you can do is you can play Ink Shadow with Senna early, and then you can pivot into Ink Shadow Porcelain, and then you can pivot off Ink Shadow if you really need to, or you can keep Ink Shadow if you hit like an Udyr. Like you can play around that, right? So the Jax is not only like really good as a frontline unit, as you can see, he's like really strong, and I'm getting a lot of tempo with him. You can also keep him in for a very long time because he'll synergize with the Amumu, which then your Amumu can be your main tank for later, and then until you get like a better 4 or 5 cost that you might want to itemize. So it's all good. I'm just trying to play around like some extra traits. So Volibear, I try not to play Volibear that much. I think that it's really busted. I think it got nerfed a little bit, like they fixed it in PB, so he's not as busted anymore, but it's still a really strong unit. And I just have like Duelists in for like attack speed. We're not really going to care too much about focusing on all like the other small traits. I'm just trying to like throw in whatever gives us synergy, besides like the Ink Shadow core and then into Sniper later, which I think this line's still going to be like the line later, but I think you just need to have like at least one ASHE item before you start the game, right? Either a Jinsu, an IE, a Deathblade, like, so we gotta have attack speed or AD item, because I think the ASHE really wants attack speed, and then she also really wants AD. So I had 2-star Kog'Maw, that's cool. And yeah, so this is stage 3 now. I'm gaining a lot of EXP, but because I'm winning, I'm getting a lot less EXP. I feel like you usually want to lose stage 2 with this leveling augment, like the patient study. But I might be, like, it's probably still fine, right? Like, winning's good, you just have HP. Yeah. I was supposed to check the Exalted as well. I think Caitlyn is an Exalted in this game, and I sold my Caitlyn, which is bad. So Exalted, if you don't know, basically every game, there's a different set of champions that are Exalted. And this Exalted trait, if you get 3 in, it gives you 1 EXP per player combat, and it also gives your entire board like 3% damage or something. And then if you have 5 Exalted, it gives you more percentage damage. So it's kind of like similar like how Jazz like buffs your whole board for having in a particular subset of units. Exalted also does that. And because it's like kind of random which Exalteds are which, it makes it a little bit hard to like kind of play around it. But like this set of Exalted would have been really strong for Ink Shadow. I think somebody else ends up going it, which helps them out a lot. But because like the Exalted sets, apparently they're all like data mined, and I don't know if they're gonna change. But you can see like all the possible options. There's like 100 options, right? I didn't really look at them. I kind of skimmed some of them because a lot of them have like similarities. But this was one of the ones that like people kind of mentioned actually, because you have Caitlyn for Sniper, right? Which works well with the Kaisa for Ink Shadow, and then you could just put in one more. The other one that's really good is one where Volibear is Exalted. I forget. But I don't know if it's the exact one that was mentioned, but I remember seeing something like that. Like when you have like a 1 cost that shares the trait with the 4 cost, it's really nice. Or not shares the trait, that fits really well the board together. That's alright. I just take Blistering Strikes to the second augment. I didn't really see anything that I wanted. It might have been Best Friends because the attack speed is just really good on ASHE, but I said, you know what? I don't have anti-heal. Besides, like, whatever units might have anti-heal for later. But so I'll just get anti-heal. It's a free level, so I'll just level up. Even though it's like off-tempo level, it's like, might as well just make my board a little bit stronger. Because now I have Warden and Duelists in. And yeah, so a lot of stage 3, I'm just going to be sitting until I hit to stage 4. And then when I hit stage 4, I'll play around trying to fit in Porcelain and stuff. So I found the Caitlyn back, which is pretty good. I think the line, I think, like, because Ink Shadow is kind of hard to play later, What you can do really well later game with Porcelain is that you can tech in Ghostly. So something that's really fun that I didn't do it specifically with Ghostly last time I played it, but I've seen a lot of people play it, and I tried it out a little bit in a different game, but that game kind of got like, you know, it just like PBE crash. That was the game before. What you can do is you can swap out all the ink shadows for ghostly units, and the same concept applies if the ghostlies are a little bit better for frontline. So Alawi is a warden ghostly unit, and then Caitlyn is a ghostly unit. And ghostlies, they basically like, if you have like ghostly emblem, even like anything like that, you can put in it basically what they do is, I explained it in my previous video. You can check out the ghostly video on my channel if you would like. Also make sure to like and subscribe if you like the content. We'll go back to like grinding and it just being normal VODs of me just playing on stream when the set comes out, but until then it's like kind of like whenever I can get into PBE I'll just record videos, and then that's why I do the VOD review. Anyways, ghostly, they take increased damage based on the specters that they take. So you can just put it in there to just have like more damage basically for your carries. It doesn't matter that you're carrying Ashe and you have ghostly synergy. It's just like a nice splash trait, just gives you some more damage buff, right? Anyways, so in this version right now, I just teched in 4 sniper because I have it. I found an Aphelios and I said, you know what, screw it, we're just gonna play 4 sniper for now. Aphelios is really good as well to build around. I don't know if there's like a proper faded line. I haven't played faded yet. I've seen faded Aphelios Thresh reroll, because Thresh is a frontline unit, Aphelios a backline unit. Aphelios being sniper, it kind of feels weird. I don't know how strong he is. But Aphelios has built-in sundering, so defense reduction or armor reduction. That's a good unit to keep track of. If you're like, oh shit, I don't have any sunder, let me just put that in there, you know. I think this game ends up just being so fucked though later. Like later, I think everybody just has a 3-star legendary or some shit, like 3-star 4 cost. I forget what it was, but it was just so fucked up because I think there was 2 fortune players and they both like giga cashed out, and I don't know what was going on, or like maybe they just like over greeded and they just had a bunch of gold. But yeah. Anyway, I just put the Jinsu on Aphelios for now. I don't think it's a good item on Aphelios. I think he needs mana. I think you have to build him with a Shojin, but whatever. Anyways, if you have been enjoying PBE, make sure to comment and let me know. And if you haven't tried PBE yet, just you know, if you're excited for set 11. You can also mention what comps you might want to see me try out, because like, you know, it's PBE. I'm down to hard force stuff and give my opinion on it. I'm just going through the list. You know, I have my list every game. I check off one of the verticals that I tried. I think I still have Dragonborn and Faded to still do, if you count this as a Porcelain game, even though you know, I didn't get like a spat, like I'm not playing like 6 Porcelain or anything like that. And then after that, it's just like some of the other traits like that are like uncraftable spats, like Duelist, Invokers. I really want to try Invokers. I used to love Invokers. I think that was one of my favorite comps in set 9. I love traits that you don't need a spat to get the full value out of the trait, because I feel like building the board is a little bit more fun, because you can always hit that you like there's some boards where like the spat is meaningless. There's some boards where the spat's really important, and then there's some boards where like you have no spat, and like I feel like the traits are just balanced in a different way. I don't know how to describe it. It's like the 6, like having the full traits in, like if you can hit the max of a trait without a spat, it feels like the max isn't that strong, right? But at the same time, like for those units, it's like it just feels balanced, right? So it's like, okay, I'm gonna aim for this, it's achievable, I can make this work, right? Invokers were like that in set 9. it was kind of like you play towards like, okay, all the invokers, you just play towards like 6 invoker, you just grab invoker units is really easy. And then because it's not like a complete trade, it's very like low trait, you could basically synergize with what you hit and what's more important, right? So like on level 8 you'll have 2 free spots, so it's like, okay, do I need more frontline based on the lobby? Usually the answer is yes. And then like, okay, I need to tech in these units, and then on level 9 what do I tech in, etc. Anyways, I get some upgrades. I have the Amumu now, so I'm just putting in the Amumu to prep myself for when I get an ASHE for Porcelain. I think this is where you are going to notice some big throw H. Anyways, I found an Irelia on level 8. I was just talking to somebody about this. It's like, I feel like on level 8, I'm hitting so many 5 costs. He was asking like in Discord, like, is 3% how much the odds were for level 8 in the previous set? I think it was. I'm pretty sure set 10 it was 3%, but it just feels like I'm always hitting 2 costs. But I think that's just because people are like, I feel like level 8 wasn't where you stayed a lot of the time, if that makes sense. I don't know. Set 10 felt so fucking bad. Now that it's over, I'm gonna say it. Like, at first, set 10 was kind of nice, and then every patch they made, I liked the set less and less, right? Like, my favorite patch was, like, the Vegas patch, but maybe that's just because the set was new. But it kind of messed up. Like, I feel like already I'm enjoying this PB way more than I enjoyed set 10, just because, like, even though the PB is kind of crazy, I like the no chosen. It feels so much nicer again. Okay, check out this one. I want to talk about that for a second. Reinforcement. So what it does, it makes the first 4 cost you buy upgrade into a 2-star. And I was like, oh, bet. I'll just get an ASHE 2. Look at all of these things. I could have taken Kai'Sa here, right? I could have taken Lily. I could have taken this. Look, there's like 6 Kai'Sas I'm passing. It's like I could have like just gone for like Kai'Sa 3 or some shit. You know what I mean? But like look how many Kai'Sas I'm seeing, right? I could have just rolled down to 0, grab Kai'Sa again. You know what? If I was playing well, what I do is you grab the first buyable unit, which in this case, like for a carry, would have been Kai'Sa, because Jinsu Deathblade, like Jinsu isn't that great on Kai'Sa, is what I've known. I tried it out and it was pretty good on her, right? As I'm pissed because I didn't find my ASHE. That's because I'm hard forcing ASHE this game. I kind of already said it. Because I don't want to play Kai'Sa because I already played Kai'Sa. I also specifically played Ginsu Kai'Sa. I saw 2 builds for Kai'Sa. So Kai'Sa can either have Jinsu and Bombardment, or you just play it with, like, I forget what it's called, the other tattoo, and you just make Deathblade IE, which is apparently so much better, right? I asked somebody else and he was like, no, it's definitely the other one. And I'm like, okay. Anyways, I found the ASHE. Yay, yippee. Now I just lost all my gold, though. Which probably sets me up for failure later. But anyways, the Jinsu felt really strong when I played it. So I'm not against it, right? I'm not against if I have a Jinsu Slam. I don't think it's unplayable on Kai'Sa. I just don't think it's, like, the best, right? It's probably, like, in set 10, where Kai'Sa, like, a lot of people would play Jinsu because it's, like, it's pretty good. And it feels good. Early, but then late game it's like really fucking bad because she just doesn't cast enough. It might be like that. Anyways, I'm still playing like 4 sniper. My board's kind of a bit messy, but it's pretty like coherent. It's just my front line's kind of bad, right? Like ideally I can drop 2 snipers and play a better front line. If I was able to like preserve a lot of money, the play was also like if I had a Kai'Sa in, I would also have Exalted. So this was definitely like a Kai'Sa game, by the way, right? Because Kai'Sa in this set, Kai'Sa in this specific game, sorry, is an Exalted unit. Exalted would just buff my whole board's damage. The thing is, I just really wanted to play an ASHE game just to get like a feel for it and see how it is. I forgot to say, we didn't see it because the thing, like if you haven't seen this set, there's these things called encounters. So sometimes like a Giga unit comes on the board and they're all like, these are the rules of the game. It's kind of like to replace, like, to be like the gimmick mechanic of the set. So it's like kind of not super impactful, but sometimes they are. But anyways, I'm doing pretty good. I'm streaking. I'm full health in the lobby. Like I said, the Ink Shadow is really good in the mid game, and a lot of people are like super greeting in the lobby. So I just end up being like the strongest in the lobby somehow. Oh, and there's a Lowy, that's what I mean. So I could have pivoted here to Ghostly Warden and pivot off the Ink Shadow, but I think I just keep it. I double Jinsu Ashe. I don't think it's ever double Jinsu. I think it's like IE or something like that, but it's fine. Whatever. This guy's really weak. Anyways, the encounter for this game makes it so that you know who you're playing next, which is also a good for snipers, because snipers, you want to position your carry as far away as possible. But at the same time, because they know that I'm sniper, they usually just position their carries in the middle, or they like, you know, late tried to just 50-50 it. See, like this guy. This guy was like Dryden reroll. I don't understand why he was playing like Kindred as a main carry. I feel like the better play with this is not to play Kindred, but who am I to know? Maybe this guy just got the sauce, right? Like when I play Dryden's give the main trait of Dryden's is it gives you HP. I don't know if Kindred scales off HP. Honestly, I never even played. I never really played Kindred besides a synergy bot, so maybe that's why. Maybe they have HP scaling. But basically, what I would do is I would always reroll like Gnar in that setup, right? And I felt like it was really strong. Because you can just play whatever backline you want if you have a good front line, and you can just use the Dryden's as like full front line, and it's like insanely strong. Anyways, this is a Heavenly guy. I don't know what this guy was doing. I feel like so this is with hindsight, because coming up is actually gonna be one of my like really fun video. I kind of did it before the sub goal, so I need a different sub goal, but I played Heavenly reroll. I had such a good spot for it in PBE, and I played it. And holy shit, it was so much fun. Because you just 3-star everything. Like, I hit fucking everything. Except for, like, Wukong. Wukong, I had just a Wukong 1 at the end. But, like, all the other units, I hit everything. It was so cool. Like, my units were unkillable. They were so strong. It was like the dream situation. Like, I don't think it's, like, repeatable. Like, I don't think Heaven was, like, broken or anything. But, like, if you have a spot for it, like if there's an augment that gives you free rerolls every round, or sorry, every start of stage, they give you free rerolls. It's like a Heavenly augment, specifically for Heavenly. It's like as many Heavenly units as you have, as many shop rerolls you get at the start of this round, which maybe is not like the best thing. Like, you know, probably it's better to just get like, what's it called? Rolling for day. What's the one that's not rolling for days? I'm thinking of shopping spree. It's better just to get like shopping spree. Or frequent flyer. Frequent flyer is the one I'm thinking of. You want to get frequent flyer that you just have less money to spend on rerolls. But man, I got that. Oh, it was so good. Anyways, back to this game. I hit Aurelia 2 on 8. This was like, I don't know. Everybody seems to just hit early. And I don't know if it's because everybody's like rolling aggressively on 8 and it's like thinning out the pool a lot. But like, I guess I just hit. Like, okay. Well, like I said, look, my frontline's pretty pitiful, right? I don't really have that many frontline items, and my main tank is one cost 2-star, which is definitely gonna fall off at one point. But you know, now I have Aurelia 2, so I'm just kind of playing it. Like, it would have been better, like, to drop snipers and to play like, I think I dropped 2 snipers, like Kog'Maw, Caitlyn. Even though Caitlyn's like exalted, and I'm holding on to this pipe dream that I'm gonna play exalted units, I should probably lose them and then play the other stuff instead of one of the front lines. Like, I can drop all of Ink Shadow and all of the snipers, and I can play, like, what's it called? Either 4 Warden or Lee Sin for Dragonborn for, for the Aurelia. And I don't know, there's a lot of things I can fix now. But ideally, I would have just played 4 Porcelain. But yeah, look, this guy is Recon Bob. So he's just really strong. I'm making these Alawis because it's like I eventually want to put in Alawi, but I don't know. I don't know if that's gonna happen. I'm way above health in the lobby, but that's because everybody's like kind of giga greeting in PBE. They're all trying to go for like 3-star legendaries or 3-star 4 costs. Maybe they're all making like YouTube videos like me. And obviously you're gonna get more clicks if you have like a giant thumbnail that says, oh, I hit this 3-star and it's broken. Because I don't know, I find like with YouTube there's more, I don't want to say casual, like I'm not trying to offend anybody, but I just feel like the most degenerate strategies and the most degenerate videos, like a hard video where like there's videos where I try really hard and I like make all these difficult pivots and I have like these really complex boards, and it's like people don't watch those ones. They'll just watch the ones where it's like, I'm forcing the same comp I forced 100 times because it's a reroll and it's very easy. And then people like I'll just get so much more engagement on those ones, right? Or like, I hit 3-star this, where it's like clearly a high roll, right? It's like I didn't really deserve it or play really good. Like it's not like I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna hit 3-star this. It's like, no, it just happened. Right, but you know, that's YouTube, that's how it is. Also, I'm just kind of babbling because I'm trying to fill the dead air. I'm kind of doing nothing in this game, but hopefully you can at least like see the units and see the fights. Maybe I can try and find something to mention. To mention in these fights. But basically what's happening is, if you look at these other boards, like because I rolled down all my gold, basically I wasted like 50 gold trying to find this ASHE. Right, and I'm down a gold augment because like my gold augment was to make this ASHE 2, and I basically rolled down all my gold trying to find a single ASHE, and I just didn't because it was a really low roll on the ASHE and I was forcing it. So I'm like basically down 50 gold on everybody. So everybody's already hit level 9. So I'm like level 870. These people are like level 9, probably with 70 or more gold, and rolled it to 0. And they just have all 5 costs, all upgraded 4 costs. Look at this guy's board. His whole board's like a fucking giant. So now I'm just going to lose every fight, basically. But it basically comes down to that I was forcing ASHE, and this wasn't that great of an ASHE spot. And if it was a real game, just taking, like, the Kaisa, I probably would have, like, been in such a better spot. Because I would have been Kaisa 2, I would have won all my fights, I would have been highest health in the lobby, and I would have been richer and more, richer and higher level than the lobby as well. But now I'm kind of like lower lobby than, like, I'm just, all I have is HP because I eventually still hit a strong board because my board wasn't that bad and I had like, you know, purpose in making my board. But yeah, if I just sent it later. The other problem is that one of the Fortune players after their cash out played ASHE, which I don't know if you saw. So I can't even hit ASHE 3. So my win con is like to hit something that doesn't even synergize with my board. I'm trying to like figure out how I can fix it. I'm pretty sure this is stronger. I lose 1 sniper, which cuts my damage by a lot. But I'm hoping that Irelia can make up for it because I have an Irelia 2 and now I'm starting to itemize it. But I definitely have better frontline, and now I have Exalted, which also increases my damage a little bit. The problem is, like, I think the boards that I'm going to go up against are going to be so fucking intense. This guy has, I don't know what it is. I know this Lee Sin unit is broken. Like, I've heard that it's really, really strong. I just haven't had a time to play Dragonborn yet. It's, like, on my to-do list. But I think, like, a lot of people are playing, like, and even Story Weaver. Like, Dragonborn Story Weaver, I find that a lot of people in the lobbies are always playing it. He has, like, a Dragonborn Augment, which I'll hover over here. But it's just so fucking strong. Like, he's playing, like, Dragonborn Duelist, and I think those are, like, 2 really strong traits already. But I need to try it out. Definitely need to try it out after. Yeah, I'm trying to think what I put in, because I want to lose something. Right now I'm 4 Ink Shadow, so I can technically lose the Senna. Which I should lose the Senna, and then I can just play like 4 Warden. I could lose somebody else. Yeah, I should just lose Ink Shadow here. I think I was just like overly greeting, but I think I preserve HP if I just lose the Ink Shadows here. This guy has a set 2, I think, or something. But yeah, my front line's still shit. I have an Udyr 2, which is really strong, but I just need to itemize him, because like, what am I doing here? No items on him. Yeah, you know, it is what it is. I might still win this, maybe. Oh yeah, I still win. Yeah, that's an Udyr 2 diff. Anyways, as you can see on the bench in the 3rd spot, there's like a little, like, it looks like an egg with like a crown or like little like pincers. I don't know what you want to call it. But that's like basically what that does is every player combat it stores 1 EXP. So and then you can sell it to gain that EXP. But if you don't have room on your bench, it doesn't appear. Anyways, I found this guy, so now I should switch out. I swapped out the other dude. I should just swap out. So I want to swap out Volibear for, like, if I want to fix this board, I want to actually be a strong board. it's Lee Sin over Volibear, and it's Alawi over the other Warden, and something else, one other thing. The problem is I think Volibear's not exalted here. It's the Thresh that's exalted, but the Thresh is kind of useless. It's definitely lose, like it's definitely play 4 Warden for front line. Yeah, I'm just kind of lost. Yeah, you know, it is what it is. Everyone's just hitting 3 stars, I think. See, if you see on the side, there's a Lilia 3 over there. This guy's gonna hit something surely. This guy's the guy that's playing Ashe, right? Which kind of sucks because look, he's like way ahead. He's like level 9. He has Ink. This is like what I was saying with Ink and Ashe. See, so he has like the Kaisa, so he still has the Ink items. He just has a really strong board, and then he has a 0-2. Then he has better front line than me, I think, because he has a Behemoth spat. But this was a Fortune player, I'm pretty sure, that just cashed out. So he just had a bunch of resources. So you had Fortune pivot into Ashe because the items work really well with both of them. And now I'm kind of just sending it. I'm like, okay, let's see what happens. I can't even buy... Like, I bought an Ashe, but I can't even hit Ashe 3 because there's that guy that exists. I can't find Lee Sin because the other guy's just playing Lee Sin. And if you look at my shop, like, where were these Ashes before? I just keep finding Ashes everywhere. Anyways, I want to fit in Lysandra somewhere. I'm trying to figure it out. I missed, like, this shop would have been great like a turn earlier, but it's just not. But yeah, it's definitely like put Lee Sin in for Dragonborn, which will help out my team a little bit. Put the items onto Udyr because the Udyr is a 2-star frontline unit. It's way stronger. This guy's just so fucking strong. I don't know if it's a combination of the Lee Sin or the Dragon Augment or both, but he's like, it's insane how like that. I never had a chance of beating that board, and I think he's like does really well into like a lot of the other stuff as well. But yeah, if we look at the final lobby, like I did pretty good, but I bled out really hard. I definitely could have fixed this board a lot, so it's not like at any fault of the units, right? Even here, now I have a set 2. I should definitely, like, yeah. Can we sell him? What are we thinking of? Alright, we finally sold him. Good. I put in Lysandra. I don't even put in Lee Sin. Alright. Wonderful. It would have been good because I realized my dual carry in this thing. Anyway, I'm playing Lilia 3, so this is a loss. I think somebody else has a 3-star. We'll see at the end with the final report. But, yeah, I just fell off late is the problem. And I don't think this would happen in a normal lobby. I think the Fortune players would get punished harder. There probably would be 1 Fortune player that would make it, but there wouldn't be 2, right? There wouldn't be 2 that would have a strong cash out, like, Tome or whatever. Anyways, that's the video. I went over it. We kind of talked a little bit because I felt like it was a bit boring, the video, so I'm trying my best to make it entertaining. But yeah, there's a Lilia 3. Oh, it's just the Lilia 3. There's no Darius 3. Yeah, and then the Lee Sin board that was really strong. But anyway, if you enjoyed these videos, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll have more PBE content until set 11 comes out. And then it's going to be daily VODs of set 11 of me trying to rank up. Anyway, see ya.